Reverend Rob Lee. Bold, smart, and straight to the point. This is Tarot with an Attitude.
Miss Jill, we're going to start this bad boy off, all right, like this, all right? But I want you to take a look and see which deck you would like for me to use.
I like the middle one.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. And I'll show you what this deck is. This is a beautiful deck. It's called Beautiful Creatures Tarot, okay?
Oh.
I knew this. I haven't used this deck a lot, but it was calling to me, or spirit was pushing me for you. There's the book, okay? Beautiful Creatures Tarot. So let me ask you this, Miss Jill. Is there something particular you had on your mind when we sat down today, or when you said, yeah, let's do this, I want to get your opinion on something? Or is there, how do you want me to proceed? This is your reading.
Right. I've been thinking about relocating. Obviously not overnight.
Right.
I don't know if that's helpful for your project here, but the long term, like I'm a 5 life path, so I go. And
us 5s, we got to stick together, baby.
yeah, it's that you get restless after a while.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it's like time to get out of New England. My ultimate goal, and it may seem far-fetched, but I doubt that because I believe in manifestation. I want to end up in Hawaii eventually.
Okay.
Okay, but I don't know if that's the next move. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm not sure how you would word that for tarot, but I'd love to find out for my own practice.
Well, and let's do this. I'll start this one with the pendulum, okay?
Yeah.
And I'll bring out this pendulum right here that Gillian made for me. All right.
That's the opalite one, right?
Yes. So what I'm going to do is, first thing I'm going to do is ask Spirit, and the pendulum, will you work with me today? Yes. Do you need cleaning before I start work with Jill? No. Okay. So here we go. Jill is thinking about a move. All right. And she wants to go to Hawaii. Is that going to be her next move? Pendulum said yes.
Ooh, I love that pendulum.
Pendulum is, let me ask this, and so we'll go here. Pendulum, what are we looking at within a year? No.
I didn't think so.
Pendulum, are we looking at 2 years? Ooh, we're getting close. It is now just sitting here shimmying. Okay. So it's like, what I'm really picking up, Jill, is it could be within 2 years, but there's a lot of work to be done to make that big move. Okay. It is possible. So you're going to have to put your manifesting skills and everything together to make that work. Okay.
I'm just taking notes, by the way.
No, please go right ahead. I encourage it. I will ask this. Is there a move in store for Jill between where she's at and Hawaii? Yes.
I knew it.
Yeah. And it's going in circles. So let me ask you this. If we focus on this next move, okay, where is your driver for that? I think what's going on is you're so, this is where I want to be in Hawaii and manifesting Hawaii. And there's nothing about that. What's driving you to move? Okay. Out of, out of New England altogether, or B, have you considered your next stop before Hawaii?
Well, I'm taking into consideration, like,
don't tell me where, just, yeah.
I need to go somewhere where my spiritual business or whatever my life's calling here will flourish. You know what I'm saying? And with New England, I've I've lived all over Massachusetts, New Hampshire, by the border of Vermont, Maine. I love New England and I might miss it, but I'm sick of the winter.
I'm anxious. So I understand. I love the snow. I just don't know if I like how long it hangs around.
I like it for Christmas, and then after it's okay. It can go away.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, all right. So here we go. Let's get this brought up here. I'm going to do it this way. All right. Cut this deck. And so while we're shuffling, Spirit, I want you to focus on just what do you need to know about the next move. Let's leave Hawaii out. Spirit's already told us that there's a move in between, at least one. Okay. So, Spirit, what does Jill need to know about her next move, whether it be in New England or the South, whatever? What do we need to know about the next move, and help her come through this or figure the way out so she knows how to plan? So your light card in this is the High Priestess. All right.
Nice.
So the High Priestess, again, to me, everybody runs right to intuition. And she is about intuition. And what this says is inner wisdom. And I want us to think about those words rather than just getting slammed with that's High Priestess, that's intuition. Inner wisdom also goes with the knowledge we have learned, okay, combined with that gut feeling. Like, you know what you're tired of, okay, and why. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, all right? But your intuition has got to come into a role of taking you from being overexcited about your next stop and making the wrong choice out of an emotional standpoint, okay? And using that, slow down, use your brain, use your personal knowledge, and then couple that with the way you're talking to Spirit. And that intuition will light up and be like, okay. And I promise you, if you do that, that's how Gillian and I have made a lot of major moves and manifested a lot of big stuff. And I know you're a manifester, okay? Let's take a look here. We go from the 2 to the 9 of Pentacles.
Nice.
All right? And this is rewards. All right. I know where you're at and how you and I first met. Okay. And when you get into some of the backwoods of Maine and different places, even New Hampshire or whatnot, they're not open to a lot of what we do. There are hidden pockets. But even when we go to some of the shows and things like that, they're not, if you're not in touch with somebody big that has thousands, it's hard to get connected. And even though, like the one show you helped me get into, I couldn't get in. Okay. You had to go to the owner the day we were there visiting. And she's like, oh, yeah. Well, this is the 9 of Pentacles. You do need to be, remember, we're talking about where you're going. And the 9 of Pentacles is here to say you can succeed at this. Making money, helping people, it all goes hand in hand. There's nothing wrong with needing to survive and make a living. All right. You can succeed at this. And in the travel, you do have to use your intuition and your gut to be able to manifest this in choosing where you go next. All right. Even where I'm at in New Hampshire, it's difficult. That's the reason I stopped going. Number one, I'm new up here. So you and maybe 2 other people are all I know. Okay. But the 9 of Pentacles is here to say, yes, you can manifest this dream. You can do this. And with regards to the move, you just got to be smart about it. Pick a place where it's going to be, the audience is there. It's accepted, we go from there into the page. I love pages. The passionate spirit.
Oh, yes. I love that one.
Venture. Okay. It is time to maybe look. Okay. See the love, the passion, everything there. This is about passion. And this is about that spirituality, what you want to do, that drive, that will. Okay. So the page is here to say you've got to get that drive. And when we talk about packing up and moving into the unknown,
oh my God,
there you go. Okay. but you've got to be passionate, is what Spirit is saying to me, that you have to be passionate about what you're trying to create, okay? Enough to say, I'm willing to make the move.
Right.
Okay. If it,
Mhm.
well, you can't go much further north, whether it's west or south into a larger city, something like that, that's more acceptable. Even if we stay in this realm, Portland, Portland has a lot of stuff, things like that. Boston, any of this, okay, at least you're into a more your audience, your tribe. Okay. You're trying to build your own tribe. And I'm glad
Yeah.
you're part of mine. And I want to help you any way I can. But yes, it can be very hard to build a tribe when you're not where the people are, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's taken me a lot of work, different things, but and I'm in a different position than you. We had assets to be able to live on while I'm doing this. Okay.
Mhm.
And I don't know that you don't, but it's a scary thing, even if
Yeah.
you're sitting on the money, to be able to go, oh, I'm going to move from Florida
Yep.
to New Hampshire. Hey, you disappeared on me.
Oh,
There we go.
it's like I'm hopping.
Yeah. That's why I
Sorry.
turned off that, okay. Yeah. Guess what? Whoop, gone. See ya. All right. So let me ask you this so far right here.
Yep.
Any questions, any thoughts? How's this resonating with you?
No, this resonates good. Like with the High Priestess, she's saying I have experience. I've had the bad, the good, and the ugly. The Nine of Pentacles says this is okay. This is a path where I will sit pretty. I'll be comfortable. And the Page of Wands is that spark will come in, the message of the spark. But the page is saying it's just beginning.
Right.
So I like
Now,
all of that. And yeah, you're right on
okay.
it.
So what I did was I pulled the shadow card. And for people that
Mhm.
are not aware, I know you read and do this, the card off the bottom. And a lot of times it gives us new direction or whatnot of where to go. And one of the
Mhm.
things that came up is the Seven of Cups as your
Oh,
shadow.
of course. Yes, that's what's going on.
But
That's
interesting.
yeah.
And remember, you chose this deck. Okay. The Seven of Cups talks about, in this deck, delusions.
Mhm.
When you're making your choices, and I think that just, solidifies what we were saying with these three cards. Okay. Make sure you're making this choice of a
Mhm.
place to make you happy, but that's going to fulfill your goal and your dream. Okay.
Yeah.
And don't do it out of emotion. I'm just ready to make a move and do
Mhm.
something. Okay.
Yeah.
Make smart choices, and it's okay to make a choice that makes you happy. Okay.
Right.
That's very important. Okay. So
Mhm.
that's the shadow card, which would be the overall, reading for this deck.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to put this one, you know what? I'm just going to set it off to the side and we'll refer
Mhm.
back to it. All right. So as we move on in this, okay, I'm going, you know what? I'm going to slide this over because I want to bring another card across. And then we're going to read these all, not just individually, but as a story, you know? Oh, irony. Remember when the movie Con Air came out and
Yeah.
the little saying, define irony? A bunch of a-holes dancing on a plane to a song made famous by the band dying in a plane crash, you know?
Oh, no.
And my kids loved it. And so I would say something, it'd be like, define irony. We went from the Seven of Cups about making choices and delusions to the Eight of Cups of a quest. So what I'm really picking up here is the need for you to concentrate on this next move to work your way towards Hawaii, even if it's working west,
It's funny
Sedona.
you keep saying that.
Yeah. I don't know why West keeps coming up. And I don't know if it was because of the subliminal implant. Well, it wasn't subliminal of Hawaii, but it would make more sense to start working your way over. So the next move, maybe you're going to
Mhm.
leapfrog 2 moves, but to be there at the end of 2 years, but you got to start making the move. So
Yeah.
this is an actual quest, is what this card says. Okay. Now, here's what I find funny. When we look at the Seven of Cups, all right, the Seven of Cups talks about making choices, making a decision. We're talking about choices made, like we said, with all three of these cards. I'm not going to beat a horse to death. Okay. But the Eight of Cups in a quest talks about once you make a decision, seven, we have all these options. And the eight is about picking one, turning your back on the rest, and leaving what doesn't serve you anymore.
Yeah.
Trusting spirit to allow you to make this move and to help you and go. Now, again, spirit doesn't want you to make any foolish decisions. Okay. But you're there. Don't let fear hold you back and say, you know what? I'm paying this amount here, this amount here, this amount here. Let me get on the internet, find that you're living in an apartment, find an apartment somewhere else. Even if you're not in Sedona, I don't know why Sedona is hitting me very hard.
Oh,
Even
that's one of my choices. Sedona.
Yeah. The Eight of Cups is about making that decision to say, here I go. You know, I'm going to do it and don't look back. If something comes up, that doesn't mean you can't stop and adjust and move forward again.
Right.
But don't keep falling back on something that no longer works for you.
Right.
Okay? All right, man. This is going to be a huge, wow. This is going to be a huge communication issue. Okay. Might be between you and David, might be between you and spirit, might be between you and whatever. Okay. But speak what you want into existence. Start standing proud, stand outside, say it and say it out loud. This is what I want to do. Be specific about it. I need to be in front of people so they can hear my message and help support me. Okay. You've got to put that out there because this is hitting me hard in the throat. And so that's generally there. Any questions so far, or where do we go from here?
No questions.
Okay. So one of the things I like to do, let's look at these cards. So in the spirit of making choices, making smart choices, all right, from your shadow card. All right. When we look at this, we're talking about Jill. All right. Jill needs to use that personal knowledge and that inner wisdom. Okay. When you're manifesting, when you're bringing something together, something may tickle. Listen and pay attention to your gut. That's the intuition combining with that personal knowledge. You know, you're going to be able to manifest this, have that belief, that power. Speak things in, because as Jill moves and things are happening and you start to use this power, you get over fear. Okay. You're able to manifest all these beautiful things that you're wanting to do and places you're wanting to go. The Page of Wands is there to say, Jill, you got to keep passionate about what you want. And I'm reminded about a statement that my youngest boy made. We can learn from our children. They can learn from us. Anybody we can learn from. And he was doing a motivational thing to some young people. And he was reminding them, you work 8 hours a day, and some of you 12, okay, on somebody else's dream.
Right.
What have you done for your dream? Your dream. And that hit me hard. Okay. You know, he was only like 22 at the time.
I know, isn't it amazing, their wisdom?
Exactly. So this is where we're at with the page for you. Okay. Keep that passion, keep that fire lit. You know, I'm going to find out what I need to do, how I need to make this go. It's the venture. And then finally, you got to go on a quest. The 8, we all know, is about movement. And to put this in the tarot with an attitude format, eventually, you got to get off your ass and go.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's where this reading right now, you know, I was going to pull more cards. I don't know that we need to. This is the answer to that question. Okay. Did something else come up in here that you need clarity on or whatnot?
Well, I'm just like, I'm learning astrology right now.
Okay.
So like focusing on one thing, I can balance both.
Right.
I guess I have not fear, but laziness about moving. I've moved so much in my life that I have that like, oh God, you know what I mean?
Let me ask you this. Do you like where you're at? Is that
No.
another thing that okay, so there you go. So this maybe you said it right. Okay. This is just procrastination
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot, you know. So you got to start exploring places, do the small steps. Remember this 8 of Cups. The steps don't have to be big, but you got to start with a step. So pick some areas. Start getting on there, finding apartment buildings. What's the rent? Can you do it? How you're going to do it? Blah, 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 blah. You know?
Yeah.
Then you can get targeted in on this will help you target in on the area. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Different things. Because there are cities, I'm not saying here, I don't know why this keeps coming back in, but like Las Cruces, New Mexico. Okay. You're an hour out of El Paso on a straight drive to I-10. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Massive city. You're on the border. Okay. Everything, yeah, Juarez is like an hour away. And I'm not saying go to Juarez, please don't. Okay. But people that come across and they're looking for services, they're there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the Hispanic culture believes in this a lot. All right. But
Mm-hmm.
you can
Yeah.
find a place maybe outside in a different city. Las Cruces is a college town. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm being told is you don't, if you can't do Sedona directly,
Right.
start spreading out your search.
Yeah, I
Kind of
was
like,
looking at the around the towns and stuff.
yeah,
Obviously, I have to visit, you know?
yeah, absolutely. You need to visit, but you're going to have
Mm-hmm.
to start taking these steps, okay, in order to actually manifest what you want.
Yeah.
So let's do this. I'm going to put these cards back. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why this card was this deck. I haven't even.
Those cards are precious. I love those.
I yeah, I haven't. You're the first time I've used them in probably a year and a half.
They're
Okay,
so sweet. I love them.
and I just had the feeling I'm like, this is going to be it. And now that I've used them again, it's going to be like, okay, now they're out of the box and they're on my desk in the other pile of tarot cards. All
We'll be
right.
seeing them again, I hope.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. But what I'm going to do here, this is called because you said, one of the problems you've got is it might be you just not making a move. And I do the same thing. There's shows
Mhm.
I'm supposed to do, things I've got lined up. And especially when you're just sitting at home and you're like, you know what? I'll start tomorrow. The
Oh no,
procrastination.
yeah.
Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to look at this deck,
Ooh.
the Archangel Metatron Self Mastery Oracle. Okay. And we're going to pull a card from there to see what we can do about getting Metatron, angels, your guides, spirit to help push you a little bit. Okay.
Mhm.
So let's see how because this will be interesting when we get back together again and we talk about it. Okay.
Yes.
And again, that was sitting in a box. I don't know. I haven't had it out in forever. And I really hadn't planned on using any Oracle cards. But we've got a combination of things going, and that's your motivation. And it's funny that this is self mastery. So here we go.
Mhm.
All right. What's the first card that we have? All right. You've heard me in the show discuss this. Authentic self. Who are you? Now, this card is number, looks like 45. I'm having a hard time seeing it. 46. Okay.
Mhm.
4 means who am I? What do I want to do? That's that base, that pillar, starting with a good solid base. 6 is finding victory. Okay. 6
Mhm.
is stepping out, finding a way to win. okay, when you bring them together, that's a 10. I don't believe in a 10 in the Oracle as being this term is ending. That's only tarot numerology.
Right.
10 comes to 1.
I was going to say one, new beginnings.
This is a new beginning. So for this new beginning to take place, you got to know who you are, what you want to do, what you want to specialize in. Okay.
You see, that's the quest I'm on right now, is know thyself.
Okay.
Not that I don't know myself, but there's always deeperness. And in astrology, you really get to know yourself and you learn to accept certain quirks you have. You know what I'm saying? So that's big. Know thyself. Yes.
This is really cool. The next card in this is a beacon.
Oh, I love it.
Help you. That's
what I need. Yes.
All right. But I'm fixing it. What just flooded me, and you're going to be like, oh, crap. If you're wanting to show people who you are and share the message of spirit, be careful about getting caught up in too much and just shine. And remember, when you're sitting back, not making your own dream come true, okay, that light dims to other people. You can do this, manifest, bring it forward. And once you do it and you know it, okay, it'll keep you moving.
Yes.
It'll keep you moving. And that's going to be the thing. The beacon is, what's your goal? You can't sit back. So your beacon is put on the wall a map with Hawaii in the center. Put on your wall a dream board, a vision board with pictures of Hawaii.
You have to have that vision. If I can't envision something, it's not going to happen for me.
Correct. And you're having problems because there's a little bit of, I'm just fed up with some things that are going on. I've got a lot of stress. And this is the slippery slope that people don't understand. If I said, are you depressed? You'd be like, no, not really. I'm just, but is the slippery slope to beginning depression where we stop taking action.
Right.
Just like I said, I have to watch myself because I will get into that. You know what? Let me sit here. I'm going to go shoot pool, and do this because I need to do something for myself for fun. No, I'm being distracted. I need that beacon of where I'm going, what I'm going to do. Okay. And this is for you, Hawaii.
Yes.
All right. Even more so than your ultimate goal, and don't sell this short, is to be doing what you and I do, but in Hawaii.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So keep that in mind. Know who you are. Get back into yourself. You know what? You didn't get to where you're at by being a procrastinator.
No.
Who are you? And maybe some of who you are has gotten lost. All right. And so we can talk about that a little bit. I'd like to do that on the next one. All right.
Yeah.
But this I'm going to give you some homework for the next time. Okay. I want you to sit down. All right. Pen and paper. All right. Don't do it on the computer. We're going to make a physical action out of it.
Yeah. Right? I always do that.
And I want you to write down in more like bullet points. Who am I? Now, I'll give you a hint. And normally I make people go through this whole routine and then they get pissed at me later. Okay. Because I could have made it easy. I'm going to make it easy on you. Okay. I had this little Hindi guy tag me in one of these things a long time ago when I was in Melbourne. Okay. And he walked up to me and I wasn't even doing a show, but he left his station to come over to me and he grabbed my hand and he said, "Who are you?" Because I didn't know who I was. He was sent by spirit. I thought I knew. I was very strong, very proud. Do this. We started talking. Okay. And I'm a dad. No.
Yeah.
That's not who you are. That's what you have in your life. That's a chore you do. All right. I want you to start eliminating things like that because I don't want to direct you down a path. So you come up with a title, and it can be a multiple title. Okay.
So eliminate roles, right?
There you go. And where you see you are in your life. And when we talk about that, okay, once you get glued in on, oh, this is it, you know, it helps. It's like a fog that you didn't know was a fog kind of lifts. Okay. And I'm just going to do this real quick. Just being told to do it. Let's find out. This is the Baroque Tarot deck, you know. Bring this up. And this is very cool. Look what card comes up when we're talking about.
Oh my goodness. That energy is strong for me.
Because you have choices.
Yes. It
Gratitude
is
is going to be huge for you. And you can take this in many different roles. And in this place, the next time we meet, I want to talk about the different things you came up with and see if we can't make it into a 1, 2, 3 heading thing. Okay. But you do. Who am I? Well, you have multiple talents. You have multiple areas of things you want to do. Okay.
Yes.
I'm being told to ask you something, and I don't know why. Well, I do know why. Why are you learning astrology? Is it to put off what you need to do? If you're busy with something, is it a mind filler? Or is it something you're actually drawn to?
I've always been drawn to astrology. That's been my initial passion. But I never was in the position where I thought I could learn it and get it.
Right.
And now that I've started learning it, I love it. I loved it anyway, but I can do it. I have that mind. And it's definitely a passion. It's been a passion since I was a little kid. I just knew about sun signs, and then I learned a little more. Then I learned a little more. And now I'm learning even more. And I'm on the mission to know thyself, you know?
Right.
And the best way, I feel like our natal charts are a blueprint. You know, I believe in reincarnation and stuff. So I think there's little cheat codes along the way. And if we're fortunate enough to tap in, like tarot, astrology, numerology, whatever modality, they're all there. And if people are wise enough and come across, it opens up on their path, then it's there for you. Tap into it. And knowing myself is very important. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And now I have time. I raised 3 kids. I've done all this stuff for forever. And I'm finally getting to know myself and follow my passions and my heart and my soul. And when I open it up, there's so much. And I have so many certificates and so many things. And I want to find a way to bring it all together, to bring it forth to people. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely.
And that's because I want to give it. I want to help the people. I don't want them to struggle. If someone can figure this out before they're 51, good. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly.
And I've done something useful, you know, like, I don't know, that's what astrology's always, but it hasn't been in reach until now. It just came across my path and it's working out that way. And that's when I finally could envision myself really in Hawaii, like doing and I never in my life thought about, I have an uncle that owned a hotel there. I never even cared to visit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's just that spirit never gives us more than we can achieve, I believe, too. And it came to me, and then I'm like, oh, that's silly. And then the vision came to me, and I'm like, wait, this could be real. And then I tell people I'm moving to Hawaii someday, and the kids think I'm kidding probably, and then I told you, and I'm like, this is very possible. It's very real. I know it's expensive. I know all the 3D crap.
It's a place on the map, you know?
Yeah.
And I can tell you from moving here, I cannot imagine having finished my life in Florida at this point without making a move. And the joy I have felt, And there are certain places that we are drawn to that may have played a part in our past life, or where we are meant to be to fill a karmic debt or to continue on with joy. And that's what I came to New England with all the wacky stuff that I'm experiencing. I still feel like I'm home.
New England's beautiful. New Hampshire, I lived in New Hampshire for 10 years in the White Mountains. It's beautiful. Like, I would never diss New England. I'll always be a Boston girl. You know what I mean? I'm just a kid from Salem, but it's beautiful. It's what you put yourself in those cities or place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, you're the kind of person who can get the beauty out of it and enjoy it and appreciate it.
Right.
New Hampshire's great, you know?
And that's the way you're going to feel when you get to Hawaii. It's going to be the way you feel when you get to this next stopping point. As long as you do your research, you know what, use that intuition that we were talking about and that knowledge, you're like, oh, this may be a good stopping point. And one of the reasons when you may get there, not give up the dream, but become successful and be like, you know what, let's put more money in the bank. Let's do whatever. This is leading me to Hawaii. Okay.
Exactly.
And that is going to be something that I think that's going to play very heavy for you. Okay. Any questions or anything else?
No, thank you so much. I love this. This is really nice of you. I appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate you doing it. I really appreciate you doing it. And everybody that's watching this, remember, okay, Tarot with an Attitude, down in the links, all of my link tree stuff. You see mainly Mystics there. She's up in northern Maine, but she does what I do and has everything here, okay, where you can contact her and she'll do a reading with you online. But make sure you hit my links. There's a book in there called Tarot Simplified, these different things. But yeah, so let me know your comments, let Jill know, and you will be seeing Jill later because we're going to do the follow-up in a week to 2 weeks. We'll see where we go. All right. But with all that being said, everybody take what you want, leave what you don't, but leave having experienced some peace, love, and light. All right. Bangarang.